My name is Eric. We have my older brother Steve on the drums right here. This is Johnny T with the long hair on guitar. And this over here is Seth Dunshee on bass. Again, we are Foreign Figures. We are glad to be here to help stop this opioid epidemic and to spread this good message. We just released 2 brand new songs just today on Spotify and on iTunes. It's our Dangerous EP. Go look it up. This song is called Rain. Shoulder, dragging me down to the cold. I feel it bringing me down. I'm not over the past. I just grasp on it, hold. Subconsciously, my mind is living it up. Am I selfish human thinking out loud? Is there a hopeful future waiting around? Am I a hopeless creature spinning around? I'm not ready for this life. Stuck here petrified, can't get it off my mind. Most of my life was in denial. All these feelings persevere. This ghost is always haunting me, haunting me. I'm better off conquering, let it rain. Out of my mind when there's nothing but time just to think how my life's filled with holes. Say I'm alright cause I'm lost in the light. I keep praying and begging for more. Subconsciously my mind is living in doubt. Am I a selfish human thinking out loud? Is there a hopeful future waiting around? Am I a hopeless creature? I'm not ready for this life. I'm stuck here petrified, can't get it off my mind. Most of my life was in denial. All these feelings persevere. This ghost is always haunting me, haunting me. I'm better off conquering, let it rain. When I'm lost in my low light, when there's darkness in my head, farewell to the midnight. Let it rain. Yeah. Let it rain. Yeah. Oh, I'm not ready for this life. I'm stuck here petrified. Can't get it off my mind. Most of my life was in denial. All these feelings persevere. This ghost is always haunting me, haunting me. I'm better off conquering, let it rain. Thank you so much, Salt Lake City.
I'm waiting for him to speak. Welcome to the 2018 Instead Solutions Summit, brought to you by U.S. Senator Mike Lee, Utah Attorney General Sean Reyes, the DEA 360 program, and the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation. Please welcome to the stage, from Rockwell Watch's Johnny Ritchie.
All right, what's up, guys? Here we are, once again. Man, I got to tell you guys, welcome once again so much, 2018 Solutions Summit. I'm Johnny Rich with Rockwell Watches, and I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. How about Foreign Figures, huh? Man. I know they just dropped 2 new songs today on Spotify. Check them out on Spotify. Give them a follow. Give them a listen. They killed it today. So thanks a lot, Foreign Figures. You guys excited? It's Friday, right? We're here once again. Now, we've got a great show lined up for you guys, but before we get into it, I got a couple questions to ask. And I need you guys to get loud and rowdy, because that's what we do here at the home of the Utah Jazz. We get a little rowdy. How many of you guys from Davis County? We got any Davis County? Davis? Not bad. How about Tooele County? Tooele County in the house? Oh, we got people. How about Utah County down south? Ooh. Uh-oh. Okay. How about Logan? Anyone from Logan? Logan? Up there? How about Ogden? Ogden in the house? Yes? How about Salt Lake? Salt Lake? Uh-oh. All right. Well, now I need everybody on your feet. We got some swag for you. Make some noise. Get a free shirt. Once again, guys, we've got a fantastic show. So as you guys collect the shirts, you're going to hear from some of the biggest names in sports, entertainment, and politics, including Senator Mike Lee, the beautiful, the talented Sony recording artist Lexi Walker. We got actor and Utah sports icon. I call him the Rock of Utah. We got Alumba Harrington here in the house. My man, Attorney General Sean Reyes, over here flipping shirts. You gotta love Sean. We got Mr. Jim Wahlberg. Jim Wahlberg in the house. Mixed martial arts champion and current UFC fighter, Court the Crusher McGee here. We got All-American wrestler and Olympian Ben Kerr in the house. We love Ben. Not to mention music from Matt Butler, and if we're lucky, a song by Lexi Walker. So we've got a great show lined up for you. Now, but let me tell you guys how opioids have affected my life. Get a little serious here for a moment before we get into this awesome show. So growing up, my father broke his back in a tubing accident when I was 5 years old. Severed his spinal cord and became a paraplegic. So he was handicapped from the chest down. So all my life, he was in a wheelchair. And with that came the pain and struggles of being handicapped and having pain throughout his entire body. And pain pills were always something that were prevalent inside of my home. Dad would take them to ease the pain. Things would get worse. And my dad became addicted to painkillers. Now, when painkillers and opioids are in the home, the research I've seen is it's easy to get into it if the opioids aren't for you. You see the prescription bottle, you get into it. Well, it just so happened that my younger brother also became addicted to opioids. So in 2005, my dad overdosed on opioids and lost his life. 3 months later, my mom, also addicted to opioids, lost her life to an overdose. 1 year to the day that my mom died, my younger brother passed away from overdose. So in 1 year, I lost my entire family from opioids. So I can tell you guys that this affects everyone in this room. Everyone in this room, whether you know it or not, indirectly or directly, has been affected by this. And I tell you what, that's why we're here today. We're here today to educate, to get together. We're going to learn about this. We're going to find out how we stop this pandemic and this terrible disease. Guys, we're going to kill it. We're going to do it right here on this stage. Fantastic presentation. And there's one guy that really wanted to be here, but he couldn't. He is one of the, well, I'm not going to say, he is the best governor in the United States and one of the best states in the union. We got Mr. Gary Herbert up here to say hi to you guys. Thanks so much.
Hello, I'm Governor Gary Herbert. Opioid addiction and abuse has become a devastating and deadly scourge on the lives of countless Americans. While the state of Utah saw a remarkable 19% decrease in overdose deaths, the largest of any state in America, our work remains far from being done. The facts are, opioid addiction can be beaten. One death by overdose is one too many. And I thank you for taking this first step, for helping to promote prevention, and for encouraging your peers to be a part of the solution. By engaging in healthy lifestyles, serving your communities, caring for others, and through the appropriate use of technology, you can combat this epidemic. And that is why I am proud to participate in the 2018 Utah Solutions Summit, and why I am even more proud to see younger generations taking on this challenge alongside policymakers, thought leaders, cultural icons, and many, many more. So again, welcome to the Utah Solutions Summit. Together, we can find solutions to this national challenge.
My name's your host, and I got something to say. In 20 years, drug abuse will rob us of people we love. 20 years of over 1 million tomorrows. Unless we do something today instead. Finding more options than mourning our dead. We need braver hearts, fewer burning spoons, giving recovery an earlier start than the emergency room. We need better choices than picking out caskets. We need better answers to the questions we're asking. We need more education, less incarceration. We need to take courage, not the junk we've been taking. We need help, hope, and healing. United as a nation to save 1 million lives from drugs devastation. Where there is pain, there'll be joy instead. Where there is loss, there'll be gain instead. Where there are chains, there'll be wings instead. And where there is death, there'll be life instead. Thank you.
Every day in the United States, 115 people we love will die from opioid abuse. Our mothers, fathers, sons, and daughters, our boyfriends and our girlfriends, our husbands and our wives. Opioid abuse is an equal opportunity killer. Abuse crosses race, gender, income, sexual preference, or nationality. Beyond the loss of those we love, aside from the enduring agony of shattered dreams, unfulfilled hopes, and a grief that never goes away. It's estimated that abuse costs over $78 billion a year. If you or someone you know is abusing prescription drugs, help, hope, and healing is available. In the next 20 years, drug abuse will rob those we love of over 1 million tomorrows unless we do something instead.
Something instead. Health, hope, and healing. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Vivint Smart Home Arena, the Utah Solutions Summit. My name's Alema Harrington with Utah Jazz. Please welcome to the stage my lovely, talented co-host, Lexi Walker. Put your hands together. Make some noise.
And hey, everyone. You guys look amazing today. Wow.
We're so excited to be here. How about a nice round of applause for Johnny Ritchie, our hype man, best hype man in the business, Johnny Ritchie. We're so glad you're here. We have an important, sometimes a sensitive topic to talk about. That's opioid addiction. We hope to do it in a very special way that helps to educate and inform. And for everybody that's involved with this, how many people came here today to learn something? Make some noise. That's good. That's good because we came to teach something today. And if you're having a good time, please make some noise for our sponsors. These are the people that made this possible, including Senator Mike Lee. Make some noise for the senator. And Senator Mike Lee will be joining us later on this afternoon. Also want to thank, special thanks, DEA 360 program, the DEA 360 program. Zions Bank, Siegfried and Jensen, doTERRA, Intermountain Healthcare. Make some noise for the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation and the Anti-Bullying Coalition. If you didn't get a chance to get some snacks, some treats on the way, and how good is this, right? This Friday, you're out of school, you come to Vivint Smart Home Arena for a concert, hang out with your friends and get some food. Special thanks to our friends at Walmart for providing the food. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want to welcome to the stage, on behalf of all of our sponsors representing Walmart, please put your hands together for Don Schulteis.
What a great morning. Welcome. That's my kind of music. Is it yours that you had? Just outstanding. Walmart and the other sponsors are very proud to support the Instead Youth Summit today. We're excited about this, and we hope you enjoyed the snacks, and that always makes it better for me. I like the Reese's the best. They're my favorite. We want to express sincere appreciation to all of the other sponsors, of course, but also to Senator Lee, Governor Herbert, Attorney General Reyes, and the Wahlberg Foundation for everything they do to put these events on. We're very happy to participate with them on this in this event. As a retailer, we're here because we're committed to being part of a solution in our pharmacies and our communities. We agree abuse of addiction to prescription opioids is a serious public health issue, and the health and safety of our customers and the community is critical. Walmart has a comprehensive program and policy and tools aimed at helping curb opioid abuse and misuse. There are two programs that I'd like to talk to you about today. A couple of months ago, Walmart and Sam's Club started restricting initial acute opioid prescriptions to more than 7 days, and that's nationwide. If someone has their wisdom teeth out, for example, they might only need a short-term pain relief, and so we limit that prescription to 7 days instead of 30 days to help them not have an addiction to opioids. In January of this year, we launched a first of its kind opioid disposal solution, and we challenge our competitors to do the same. It's called Disposal RX. Now, this is available at no cost at every Walmart and Sam's Club pharmacy. Disposal RX enables patients to responsibly dispose of their leftover medications in their trash at home. They insert it, and it takes care of the opioid, and they can throw it right in the garbage. If you and your parents or grandparents have leftover opioid prescriptions that they want to go dispose of, they need to go to a Walmart pharmacy, and they will give you one of these packets for free. Lastly, at Walmart, we take pride in giving back to our communities. And so we sponsor events just like this, and we're happy to do it. It's great to see you all here, but of course, we want you in our stores. We have randomly, this is important to listen to, boy. Tell you what, we have randomly taped 5 $50 gift cards on the bottom of 5 seats in the arena. Okay? So, please take a second and look under your chair. Now, of course, we want those lucky winners and to come and visit one of our stores and use it in our store, or go to walmart.com and use it. Okay? And again, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your attendance, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the events during the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Give it up for Don Schulteis and Walmart, all of our sponsors. We're going to have some fun. We already had a small concert. Lexi's going to be singing later on today. We're going to have a great time. This is all about getting information to all of you so that we have that power to be able to overcome this opioid crisis.
I am super excited about all the events and people we're having today. And wow, I did not know there would be so many kids here. Can you guys just yell the names of your schools to me real quick?
Right now.
Wow.
That's amazing, because I went to that high school too. Yeah.
So
right
we
on.
just want to remind you guys, we want you to follow our hashtag at SafeUtah, and also follow the official hashtag of the Mark Wahlberg Foundation, which is drug-free is up to me. Thank you guys so much. Do that right now. Get your phones out.
Get
You're
your
allowed to
phones
now.
out. You can do that while you're doing that. Let me just tell you, there are a whole bunch of fantastic leaders that have joined in with this fight, including the Opiate Task Force, Senator Mike Lee. Again, we can't thank him enough for putting together the Solutions Summit every year, and this year focusing on the opioid crisis. But I want to bring 2 guys to the stage, very critical, very important when it comes to the state of Utah and battling the opioid crisis. Special agent in charge, and that is DEA agent Brian Besser, along with our Attorney General, ladies and gentlemen, Sean Reyes. Give them a hand. Yeah.
What's up, young people? Can you hear me? Mic on?
There we
What?
go.
Can you hear me, young people out there? Let me make some noise. Now, wait a second. I just heard you guys make some serious noise for Lex. I want to hear you blow the roof off. If you're repping a cool school, let me hear you make some noise. Come on. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for being here. Hey, my first job today is to introduce a special guest who flew all the way out from Washington, D.C., former Deputy White House Counsel. He now runs the entire Drug Enforcement Agency for the United States. Acting Administrator Udom Dillon. Udom, will you stand up and just acknowledge, be acknowledged right there in the crowd, ladies and gentlemen, our spotlight. Thank you, Mr. Administrator, for being here and supporting. My second job is to tell you what's in store for you. And you're gonna hear some stuff today, my young friends, that's raw and it's kind of real, it's gritty and not so pretty, but it is the reality of what's happening in our streets, in our classrooms, in our homes. But that's not why we're here today to get down. We're here to celebrate light and lifting others and love. We need to stay connected, and that's what this is all about. Each one of you needs to know that you're part of our family, that we have your back, you're never alone, and we can beat this if we do it together. Connectedness, and you need to find your passion for what you're excited about in life, and we'll figure that out together, do that instead of addiction. Now my job, ladies and gentlemen, is to turn some time over to my partner in fighting crime, the amazing District Agent in charge of Utah for the DEA, Brian Besser. Let's give him a big round of applause and make some noise for him. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right, so listen to this. This morning I'm getting in my car, getting ready to leave the house, and I take my phone and I plug it into the charger. I plug it into the charger, and the little Bluetooth lady comes over the speakers and she goes, you're connected. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Why isn't this lady speaking at the summit? I said, the entire message was right there in my car. You are connected. And I tell you right now, I am so blessed to be connected. I have so many resources in my life, from family members to friends to church group, hobbies, a multitude of things which enrich my life and keep me connected so that I can live a happy and a healthy lifestyle. You know, they told me today that there was going to be thousands of young people here today. And I look out this morning, and I see a diverse group of professionals. I see physicians. I see police officers. I see scientists and teachers. I see farmers and construction workers. And you know, Sean, I may even see the next Attorney General of Utah out here. But you guys aren't there yet. But you soon will be. Or will you? Believe it or not, a lot of that is up to you. As I watch this deadly scourge of substance abuse and drug addiction sweep through our country, it snuffs out the bright lights that are in our youth. Each one of you, each and every one of you, make no mistake, each and every one of you has something unique, something singular, something individual that only you have. Only you have. No one else can offer that. We want you to run instead of crawl. We want you to excel instead of settle for mediocrity. We want you to be connected instead of being isolated. We want you to choose living instead of dying. We want that bright light that burns in each and every one of you, that light that makes so much difference in our communities, to keep you connected and make a difference. Please, I want you to enjoy the show today. I want you to determine in your hearts today, this hour, not to let anyone or anything steal that from you or put the light out.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Bretton Besser and I have one more message for you. Remember this: we have got to eliminate shame and judgment and embarrassment from this discussion so we can have honest, real conversations. One more round of applause for Agent Besser. You guys have an awesome time today. We love you. You're awesome, brother.
Thanks for coming.
Give it up. The DEA, special agent in charge, along with our Attorney General. How special is this, right? You never knew that law enforcement was so cool, right? These guys come out here. We had a press conference at the DEA's office yesterday, and I was walking up to the DEA's office, and I had to smile because I'm like, I remember when I was dodging law enforcement like crazy, man. Now I'm walking into the DEA office, and I'm here to do a press conference, get to introduce these great men that are helping in the fight against the opioid crisis. Again, my name's Lemon Harrington. I'm a broadcaster for the Utah Jazz. How about our Jazz last night? They just killed the Kings. They just killed them. Spider Mitchell and company are on fire right now, undefeated in the preseason and getting ready for a run in the regular season. I'm a broadcaster by profession. I work in the recovery industry because that is my passion. And the reason why it is my passion, because I'm in long-term recovery myself. I am a recovering addict. And let me just share with you a little bit of my story, because I think the question is, like, how does this happen, right? We talked about it being a non-discriminatory type of disease. A disease means that it's chronic and that it's progressive and that it's fatal. And it doesn't care about your race, your age, what you do, what family you came from. It doesn't walk around with a checklist and say, oh, you go to church on Sunday? Okay, we won't bother you. Oh, you have 4.0 student? We won't bother you. Oh, you're a great athlete? We won't bother you. The disease attacks everyone, okay? When I go to elementary schools, middle schools sometimes, we could do this exercise in this group right now, and I ask the question like, oh, what do you want to be when you grow up? right? You just heard our DEA talking about, hey, we got lawyers, we got the next attorney general, we got business people, we got teachers, right? Everybody's like, oh, I want to be a fireman when I grow up. It's like, right on, Johnny, good for you, right? Not once in the whole time that I've ever done that exercise did anybody raise their hand and say, I want to be down at Rio Grande and be a junkie. Not once did that happen, right? But in 2002, I found myself down at Pioneer Park buying heroin. How did that happen to me, right? I was born and raised in a good family, church background, went to BYU. How in the world did that happen to me? Like I said, the disease does not discriminate. My first introduction to narcotic painkillers, ironically maybe, was at BYU as a football player. I remember the first time that oxycodone hit my system, a Percocet, and I was like, bam, woo! I felt it, right? And I should have known at that time that I was susceptible to this disease. But I didn't know what I know today. And progressively, it got worse and worse to the point where I was losing everything. The amazing thing about this disease is that it's one, if not the only, diseases that will try to convince you that you don't got it. Your life will be falling apart, and mine was. And I was like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Even though I'm driving to the dope house with my kid in a car seat, oh, it's not that bad, right? But it is that bad, and it can rob you of everything that you care about, and it did for me. When we talk about addiction and the disease of addiction, we focus on three things: education, prevention, and redemption. The education is what's happening here today. We're letting you know this is a disease, it's a brain disorder that happens in the midbrain for those that become addicted. And they lose their agency and freedom of choice to make choices that are important to them. I could have chose my family, but in my disease of addiction, my midbrain, which was sending commands for survival, was saying, we need more drugs or we're going to die. Understanding that is important. That's education. The prevention is what you heard Mr. Schulte talking about with Walmart. Let's limit the number of pills that we give out. Let's understand ways to prevent getting addicted and more pills out there. Because 80% of people that end up on heroin, they started on prescription painkillers, okay? And finally, redemption. Because no matter what we do, and all the things that we say, and all the education that's available, there's still going to be somebody in this room, probably more than one somebody, that will end up, like me, addicted. And then what? Well, there is a story of redemption. You can come back, but it takes connection. It takes willingness. It's a hard road, but it does happen, and we have plenty of examples that will be here on the stage here today that represent that. So we want you to know that education, prevention, and redemption are all part of this equation. Understand this as we talk about the disease of addiction today, that it is a disease, right? That it is progressive, that it is fatal, chronic disease. Without treatment, it will get worse, and it can and often does kill you. Opioid addiction is a disease that affects our brain and affects our body. For more on how that works, I want you to take a look at this video from CNN.
Every 19 minutes, someone dies from an accidental drug overdose. Most of the time, it's from prescription drugs like oxycodone or hydrocodone. These drugs all belong to a family of drugs called opioids. They are prescribed to dull pain, but they also boost dopamine, giving some people a high. They can also slow down your breathing and are highly addictive. So why is it so easy to get hooked? Well, for one, your body can build up a tolerance, so that the more you use, the larger dose you need to get the same effect. Secondly, you can become dependent on them. In fact, your body creates natural opioids that are released when you hurt yourself. But if you habitually use painkillers, your body stops producing its own and relies on the drugs instead. If you try and stop then, the body goes through withdrawal. Consider this. In 2012, there were 259 million prescriptions written for opioid painkillers, nearly enough for every American adult and child to have their own bottle of pills. Look, we need to treat pain, but we also don't need to treat everything with the pill.
There you go, some information, right? Some education, some help, some hope, some healing taking place here. I feel like we need to make some noise. Seniors in the house, make some noise. Seniors in the house, make some noise. Where's my junior class at? Woo! Sophomores? Let me hear you, sophomores. How about the freshmen? Any freshmen? Who's representing junior high here today? All right, thank you guys for the energy. We love it. We're going to have so many great things coming up for you. And I just want to remind you, as we listen to that video and watch this video talking about opiate addiction disease, the disease is real. But I'm here, many of us are here to let you know this too. Recovery is real.
One of the main messages we want to get across today is that you have access to so many various tools that are there to help you not only maybe overcome any problems you have, just to understand opioids and addiction, which is why we have partnered with FEND. It's a very cool name. It is called FEND because it's an acronym. It stands for Full Energy, No Drugs. And they have a super exciting announcement. So I'm a music nerd, right? And I'm super excited about this because they have partnered with Kevin Lyman, who is a legendary music producer and entertainer.
Our youth are facing a crisis. It's a crisis fueled by a new wave of drug use. Addiction and death rates are on the rise. 80% of teen overdose deaths are accidental. 65% of drug overdose deaths for 14 to 19-year-olds are caused by prescription painkillers. Opioids are killing our youth. Traditional drug education campaigns have been ineffective and tend to preach rather than empower. Created by the Preventum Initiative, FEND is a different kind of drug education campaign. It is a movement that empowers youth to take responsibility for their own choices and lives. FEND combines evidence-based research, technology, music, sports, and our own streetwear brand to engage youth in a whole new way. Our technology is both innovative and practical. It uses AI and gamification to reach youth via their mobile device, resulting in engagement rates of over 80% and actual changes in knowledge and behavior. After the success of our partnership with the Vans Warped Tour in the summer of 2018, FEND is now launching in states as a youth-led community engagement program. By working with state governments, community organizations, corporations, and donors, FEND's goal is to reduce addiction and death rates in your state. Join us and become part of the FEND movement. Help us empower a whole generation and take a stand against opioids. Help us educate and save lives. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to FEND.
So there you go. You have a little introduction on what FEND is all about. Like I was saying, Kevin Lyman. He is a legendary music producer and entertainer. I'm a huge fan, and they have partnered with him. They mentioned the Vans Warped Tour. He started it and produces it. The Vans Warped Tour is basically the longest and largest running music festival in the nation. Kevin Lyman has also been super instrumental in starting the careers of people like Katy Perry. Do we have any Katy Perry fans?
Woo!
Oh, come on. How about Eminem? No Doubt and Paramore. They do like these days. These days. You guys know that song? I'll sing later. Anyway, Kevin Lyman has basically joined up with Fend to give you guys a super cool contest. So let me be real with you right now. They are going to provide a free concert to the school that has the most downloads of the Fend app. Kevin Lyman will come to your school with one of his acts and give you the most amazing concert you've ever seen. That's super exciting, so get your phones out right now. You're not in school anymore, so you're allowed to. And download the Fend app. And tell your friends about it if they couldn't come today so you could get a free concert at your school. Thank you so much.
I'm downloading the app for my high school. Ah, that's my high school. Yeah, we're gonna win the concert. How about that? What a great opportunity for one of our high schools to get a Kevin Lyman produced concert. So aside from coming here, hanging out on the Friday, you got a concert could come to your school. That's some pretty good stuff right there. Aside from Kevin Lyman, some of the other superstars that have aligned for this cause, you're probably familiar with this family and this duo of brothers that have come together and focused really their energy on this cause and the Mark Wahlberg Youth Foundation. And we have a special message right now just for you, just for us, from Mark Wahlberg. Take a look.
Hey guys, Mark Wahlberg here. I want to say that I'm sorry that I can't be with you, but I want to welcome you all to this amazing event. I also want to encourage you to make good choices when it comes to your life. There's way too many young people are dying because they're making the wrong choices when it comes to drugs. Drug-free is up to me, and I choose to be drug-free. Hope you guys are going to make the same choice. Now, I'm going to turn this event over to my brother Jim here.
What's up, guys?
Your lovely host. He's a little old, but he knows what he's talking about. I'm asking you guys, please pay attention to what he has to say. God bless all of you. Remember, drug-free is up to me, and it's up to you. Stay drug-free. God bless.
Special message from Mark Wahlberg. Now please give a big Utah welcome to Jim Wahlberg.
Utah, what's up? Wow. Hey, who's in charge of the lights? Can we bring up the house lights a little bit so I can get a look at this crowd?
Good job, man.
Please. Lights.
Bring the mics down.
Up. Keep going. Keep going. Rick, are they going to turn the lights up? It's a dimmer switch. Nice. Well, we got to move it a little faster. Let me ask a question. By a show of hands, how many people here know somebody personally or have lost a family member to this epidemic? By a show of hands. Matter of fact, why don't you stand up? If you lost somebody to this epidemic, please do me a favor and stand up. When I say have you lost somebody, I mean a family member, a close friend, a relative. Yeah, there's a lot of people standing up. I know that we're trying to get a message across here, and I really wish the house lights would come up so that everybody could see how many people are standing up. Yeah, there you go. It's pretty outrageous when you think about it. About half the building is standing up. There's over 5,000 kids here, and half the building is standing up because they know somebody or have lost a loved one to this epidemic. Thank you. You can sit down. I appreciate it. So last year, we lost over 70,000 Americans to overdose death. 70,000. Okay, to put that in perspective, over the course of 20 years in the Vietnam War, we lost about 55,000 Americans over 20 years. And in 1 year, we lost over 70,000 Americans to overdose. Things are completely out of control. And we need to be concerned. We need to be cautious. We need to be educated. But I want to be honest with you. We need to be upset and angry as well, because I want to tell you that a conspiracy has been perpetrated upon the American citizens. We were lied to and misled by pharmaceutical companies about just how dangerous these medications were. And I want to say that because I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to you if I didn't say that. Yeah, woo, it's a lot, and it's outrageous. And, you know, We have lost so many people, and when I say 70,000, a huge portion of that are kids high school age. Okay? I know a few people that were up here speaking earlier opened up a little bit about themselves, and so I'm going to do the same. I'm also a person in long-term recovery, and yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm also the parent of a person in recovery, and I can tell you that addiction took everything from me. It took my education. I went as far as the 7th grade, and then I was so fully addicted to drugs that I couldn't go back to school. They asked me not to come back to school, and I became a ward of the state, which means the state was deciding, not my parents, what would happen with me. And then I ended up in county jail, and from there I went to state prison. And I suffered a lot, and my family suffered a lot as a result of my addiction. And I found the gift of recovery in state prison in Massachusetts. And I usually don't talk about that too much, but I feel like this is a different kind of event. This is a different kind of situation. Usually when I talk about this, I'm in a much smaller crowd and it's a more intimate setting. But I need you to understand that this thing takes and takes and takes. It does not discriminate. It does not only happen somewhere else. Okay, over the course of the last 4 years, I've been traveling the country showing the film that you're about to see that I made. And I've met thousands of parents and siblings of those lost to this epidemic. And I'm going to tell you something. No parent should be burying their children. Grandparents are not supposed to be raising their grandchildren because their parents have lost their fight to this epidemic. And I want you to think about this. We hear a lot as young people, because I used to be a young people a long, long time ago. She thought that was funny. We hear about peer pressure, right? See, peer pressure has a negative connotation to it, but I want to tell you that peer pressure can also be a good thing, that we can use peer pressure to influence our friends. We can say to them, listen, we got to make healthy choices. We got to do the right things. We got to make it through this because thousands and thousands of people are not making it through this. So I want to also encourage you that, you know, when I started this work, when I brought my two worlds together, I've been working in and around the field of addiction for almost 30 years, and I've also been working in and around the entertainment industry for almost 30 years. And at a certain point, when this thing got so out of control, I felt a call that I had to do something. What could I do? And what I thought of instantly was what I used to hear in church, and what I still hear in church now is time, treasure, and talents, right? Time, treasure, and talents. I got to figure out what it is that I can bring to this as a solution. And so this is my effort to moving towards a solution to this epidemic. And I'm trying to educate young people. I'm not just trying to educate young people, though, right? I'm also trying to educate parents, because parents have a tendency of thinking about this thing the way it was when we were kids. And this is a whole different beast. This is nothing like it was when I was a kid, okay? When I was a kid, I grew up in the streets. As I told you, I was in and out of prison. I never knew anybody that died of an overdose until I was in state prison. And now I got 12-year-olds coming up to me saying they lost their brother, they lost their mother, they lost their sister. You know, it's completely out of control. And so we need to be making healthy choices for ourselves. Okay, we need to be educated. And so there's going to be a lot of people coming up here sharing with you their personal experience. And I encourage you to listen to them. And this is my piece of the puzzle moving towards a solution. This is If Only. Thank you, and God bless.
It's not for laws I've broken, that bitter tears I've wept, but solemn vows I've spoken and promises unkept. It's not for sins committed, my heart is full of rue, but gentle acts omitted, kind deeds I did not do. I have outlived the blindness, the selfishness of youth, the canker of unkindness, the cruelty of truth, the searing hurt of rudeness. By mercies, great and small, I've come to reckon goodness, the greatest gift of all. Let us be helpful ever to those who are in need, and each new day endeavor to do some gentle deed. For faults beyond our grieving, what kindliness atone, on earth by love achieving a heaven of our own. Isaac,
Yes.
did you have any thoughts?
On?
Poem I just finished reading?
I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
You did?
Yeah.
And what about it exactly did you like?
The subtext.
Which was?
Living with regret.
Robert Williams Service was the poet. We'll be studying him all next week. Everyone grab a book on your way out. Have a good weekend. And be safe.
Just make sure they're not like 8 o'clock.
Okay.
Right? Bring some friends.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Yo, Isaac,
Hey.
you're coming tonight, right?
I don't know. I haven't asked my mom yet. I doubt she'll even let me go.
Bro, this is gonna be the biggest party of our lives, okay? You're not missing it.
I know, but what am I supposed to say to her?
I don't know.
Just tell her you're staying at my house. She calls my mom a lie for us.
There you go.
Come on, grow a pair, will ya? You know I get when I'm wasted. You wouldn't want to miss that, would you?
All right, I'll be there.
My man. And hey, don't forget to bring something, all right?
I don't know if I have anything, and if I do, how do I know it's the good stuff?
Anything with a label that reads may cause drowsiness or don't drink alcohol beverages, all right?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll pick you up at 8.
Okay.
Isaac, dinner's ready.
I'll be right there.
What's wrong with you? Why are you so quiet?
Can I go over to Corey's later to study?
You want to study on a Friday night?
Yeah, well, we have a big math test coming up. She wanted to know if I could help her study.
You two been spending a lot of time together lately. Is it anything serious?
No, just friends.
Just friends, huh?
Yeah, just friends. She has a thing for Connor, so.
God, okay.
Okay. I can go?
You gotta be home by 11:30.
12 and you got a deal.
In your dreams.
John! Hey, what's up? Where's Cotton?
Oh, he's in the other room. What's up, bud?
I'll be right back.
Thanks, thanks.
You made it.
What's up, man? Told you I would.
Good man.
You have something for us?
What do you got, bro? Oh, yeah. Better be the good stuff.
Well, my mom's.
You stole from your mom.
There you go.
Ladies
Man.
first.
Oh, hello. Don't mind if I do? You're up, brother. Get those down. Get those down.
I got the
All right, people. Let's get this party started. Woo!
We won't know who we are. It's just our guilty pleasures. So show me you a rider. Show me this shit is real. Show me there's no lava. Let me see how it feels. I know you feel it. Nah. Smoke shots. What?
It's just our guilty pleasures. Smoke shots.
What's up? How you doing, man?
I think I'm still a little messed up.
That party was epic.
It really was.
Yeah, how's John doing? Is he all right?
Dude, screw him. He's an amateur. Why would you take that many pills if you couldn't handle it? He's lucky to get my ass in trouble for going out like that.
I talked to his sister this morning. He's fine. It wasn't the drugs. John has seizures all the time.
Still say he's an amateur. Look, I'll catch up with you guys later, all right?
You want to skip?
Screw it.
Can't stand that girl. She's such a snob.
Megan?
Mm-hmm.
She's like the quietest girl in school. What is that?
My mom and my doctor say they're supposed to help me focus better in school. It's all BS.
So why do you take them?
Because they give me a buzz, and I need a buzz to get through this day. You know that. Here, take one.
What are you two doing here?
It's our study hall.
Isaac, have you got your physical done yet?
No, Coach, I haven't.
What are you waiting on? Basketball season starts in 2 weeks. You can't play unless you get your physical.
Okay, Coach, I'll make sure to tell my mom to schedule me one.
Make sure. I don't want to have to bench my starting point guard. Get to class.
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Hey, Mom.
Hi. Dinner's gonna be ready soon.
I'm starving.
How was school?
It was good. I think I aced my math test.
Oh, that's great. What are you doing?
Hungry.
I just said dinner's gonna be ready. Isaac. Go wash up. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just had a long day. Oh, Coach Glenn says that I need to get a physical in order to join the team, so can you schedule me one, please?
Yeah, I already did. It's tomorrow morning.
Oh, good. Thanks. This is so good.
Thank you.
When can I go to an adult doctor?
When you're an adult.
This is so
What do you have for me? Isaac? How have you been?
pretty good.
Miss Diaz, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Just a routine physical?
Yeah.
All right, well, you'll be in and out of here in no time. You can go inside, take a seat. I'll be right there, okay?
Thanks.
I don't need you to come, Mom.
Okay. Dr. Edwards, can I have a word?
Oh, what is it?
It's Isaac. His behavior lately it's been odd. He's not acting like himself.
Thanks for the ride, Corey.
What are you doing tonight?
Nothing planned.
Call me if you want to hang out.
Hey, do you have any more of those pills you gave me the other day?
Always. That's good.
Perfect, fine. Thank you, I'll call you.
See ya.
Hello?
Miss Diaz? It's Dr. Edwards. How are you?
I'm a nervous wreck.
I'm looking at Isaac's test results. I have bad news. Isaac tested positive for opiates and marijuana.
Okay. Are you sure? Because I heard those tests can come back inaccurate at times.
I'm afraid not, Miss Diaz. We use the best lab in the country. If we need Miss Diaz, we can assist you with resources to help Isaac find the help he needs before it progresses. And in my experience, it usually always progresses.
I would like that, thank you.
Okay, I'll have Laura send over some information ASAP. Okay?
Okay, doctor, thank you.
Hi. What's wrong? Mom, what's wrong?
I had Dr. Edwards drug test you.
You what?
Yeah. And your test results came back positive.
You know that's a mistake, Mom.
How long? How long you been doing them? How long? I said how long? How long, Isaac? I said how long? What did I do wrong?
Say that, Mom.
What did I do wrong?
You didn't do anything.
I must have done something wrong, Isaac. I tried so hard. I tried so hard with you. Oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't recognize you. Where did you get them? Where did you get them? Please talk to me. Are Connor and Corey doing them too? Is that what's going on? Are your friends doing them too? This is a nice place. Huh? Everything's gonna be okay.
Why are you doing this to me? I'm not an addict. It was one time.
You could have died, Isaac. I'm not gonna let that happen to you.
Stop being dramatic, Mom.
Isaac, are you ready?
I love you.
Love you too, Mom.
Love you.
Robert William Service was a British-Canadian poet and writer. He was often called the Bard of the Yukon. He's best known for his poem, The Shooting of Dan McGrath, which we will be reviewing today in class. Please open up your books to page 70.
All right, so as everybody can see, we have a new addition today. This is Isaac. I want you guys to, why don't we go around and everybody can introduce themselves and,
I'm June. I started drinking when I was about 12, 13. Just wrong group of friends.
My name's Adam. I started drinking about 2 years ago. I'm 18 now. And,
Cool for me. Just older brother friends had it. Did it. Now I'm just angry without it.
They said I could be a model. I just need
Yeah, I'm Mark, an alcoholic. It's about my 4th time being in detox.
I was 14. I saw how my mom acted after she took her medication, and I wanted to see what it was like.
My name's Sarah, and I began to have an alcohol problem when I was 10.
listen, I just really want to thank you guys for your honesty in making Isaac feel welcome. You guys got about an hour before your next group, so go take a break. Hold on, Isaac. How you feeling?
Like I don't belong here and this is a waste of time?
Maybe. But maybe you do.
And you heard their stories. I went to a party once and got high. Big deal. Who doesn't do that my age?
A lot of people. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It's a bunch of dead trees.
Actually, they're not dead. They're very much alive. They're what's known as deciduous trees. They shed their leaves It's like a defense mechanism against harsh conditions. They have these broad, thin leaves that are, really susceptible to damage. So they just let them go. But when conditions improve, they come back, healthier and stronger than before. Not much different than you.
What?
I'll see you in an hour.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, I'm Karina Diaz, Isaac's mother. I was just hoping you had a second.
Oh, actually, I don't. I have dinner plans soon, so.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Well, it'll only take a second. It's actually about Connor.
You said you were Isaac's mother, right?
That's right.
Oh, God, what a shame. My Connor told me all about you having to put your boy in a rehab. At least there he won't be able to influence other kids to do drugs. Actually, I told my son he can't hang around with yours any longer. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
How dare I?
I came here to let you know your son is also doing drugs, and as a concerned parent, I just thought you should know.
Now, you listen to me. Don't you come around here trying to point the finger at other people. Honey, just because your son is a screw-up, God, it doesn't mean that mine is.
I'm not pointing my finger at anyone. I'm handling my son and our issues. But I wanted to talk to you mother to mother so we could see what's going on with our kids.
Excuse me. You know nothing of my son. I'd appreciate if you'd leave now. Miss Diaz, have a good day. I really hope you find a way how to handle that boy. Bye.
What was that?
Nobody. You ready to go? Because I am starving.
You tell him to leave.
Okay.
Connor!
Honey, come on, he's never gonna hear you. He probably has his headphones on, so let's go. Time to go.
Yeah, but dude, I'm the illest point guard you'll ever see.
Guys?
Really? Yeah. You think I'm good? My boy Connor will break your ankles, pal. Yeah.
Hey.
What's up, pal?
What's up, buddy? It's nice to see you smiling. How you feeling?
A little cold, but I'll live.
Better? Yeah? Listen, don't take this personally, okay? But I do not want to see you back here. You understand me? Huh?
You and me both.
Excuse me, Bob. I need Isaac to come with me for a minute.
Sure. But why?
You have a visitor.
Oh.
Dave, make sure you finish that.
Mom? What happened? What happened? What's wrong? What's wrong? Mom, what's wrong?
Honey, Connor was found dead yesterday.
What?
I'm so sorry.
What? What do you mean?
He overdosed, and his mom found him in his room. I'm so sorry. Connor's gone. He's gone, sweetheart. I'm so sorry.
Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
The grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the communion of the Holy Spirit be with you all. In the waters of baptism, Connor died with Christ and rose with him to new life. May he now share with him eternal glory. Now invite Isaac to come up and share some thoughts with us.
Connor was my classmate, my best friend. It was Connor who, on my very first day of school, convinced me to try out for the basketball team. He said I needed to put my lanky arms to good use. You know, a lot of times when we're young, we think we're invincible. We're not.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Rob. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Miss Diaz, thank you both so much for coming to see us. We're so sorry for your loss. Take good care of this boy. Our lives are so fragile and precious. We as parents, we need to do everything, that we can for. If there's anything we can do, please don't hesitate to. That day, I should have listened to you. That day you came by, I should have listened. But instead, I went to dinner. While my son was alone dying in his room. It's all right. If only. I'm sorry. Thank you guys for coming. Take care of him.
If only I knew that all your words were true, that everything would be alright, my heart would find it to the light. If only I knew to put aside my pride, that I had let the Lord decide, held his hand and watched him guide. If only left with this painful emptiness, I fell on my knees to confess. Everything good lost in darkness, I failed to realize that I was blessed. So I wait for that day when I can say that I'm sorry. If only
Hi, everyone. My name's Amber Baum. What a great video that was. So touching and heart-wrenching, and it really kind of reminded me of what my life had been for quite a few years, and many of the parents on the stage. Boy, we're kind of lucky that that doesn't happen in Utah as often as other places, because that would really stink, you know? I mean, we're lucky that it doesn't happen here like it does in other states. The percentage of people dying from overdose isn't as high. But that's not true. That's a lie. In the past 5 years, we have landed ourselves in the number 4 spot in the nation, as well as in the number 7 spot in the nation. That means we're ahead of 46 other states in one instance. We're way at the top. I don't know how that happened, because we also have the highest percentage of people that go to church, right? Something like 53% of our population go to church. That's a fact. And yet we still have this problem because of shame, really, because we don't want to talk about it. We do have a problem in Utah, and I'm so grateful to have this opportunity to reach out to you guys. You are the age that most of our kids, of these parents that stand on the stage, when they started. On average, a child uses for 2 years before a parent is even wise to it, before we even know, because we don't know the signs. I want to introduce you to my daughter. Her name is Mackenzie Jennings Baum. This is my cute daughter. I loved her before she was born. She was my first child, and so easy to love because she was always happy. She always had a smile. She wanted to be a dancer, probably like many of you. She tried to play baseball, but she couldn't catch a ball. But we still tried it, right? You got to try it. She progressed pretty normally. She loved her Madeline doll. She just, in general, was such a happy kid and easy to be around. This is a 5th grade picture. She was still a pretty average kid, mostly happy. This is 6th and 7th grade, when things kind of started to get rough. Everybody knows how hard junior high is. It's a nightmare. High school sometimes isn't much better. It's emotional, and it's hard. This is 9th grade. She was a cheerleader for about 5 years, and just beautiful on the inside and out. Had lots and lots of friends. Had a lot of empathy for other people and a lot of love. She went to all the dances. She's in the bottom row. She's in the back row there. She always had the cutest dresses and the cutest guys, and she seemed like she had the world by the tail, so to speak. This is her senior picture. And now back to one of my favorite pictures. It's one of my favorites. It's also one of my saddest pictures, because when I look at it, that doll is right here. This doll is how I discovered my daughter was using intravenous drugs. I had helped her kind of clean her room, and I picked up some laundry. I knocked this doll off of her dresser, and about 50 needles fell out from underneath the dress. She'd been hiding needles in the dress, and I will tell you, I was flabbergasted. I was beyond devastated. I did not even have a clue. You can say, how could you not have a clue? I didn't have a clue. She was acting like a normal teenager. She was sleeping all the time. She changed friends. She did the things that all of you do. You know, you're tired, you study a lot. And anyway, that's how I discovered that she was using. Later on in her journals, I was able to kind of read how she began into her life of addiction. She started with marijuana and alcohol when she was 16. Then she tried pills, Xanax and OxyContin. They were never her pills. She didn't have a prescription for them, but she got them out of family members' cabinets, like we've seen in the movie. And when those became unavailable from friends or family, she started using heroin, because heroin is super cheap. She started smoking at first, and then she started injecting. And that is the worst of the worst. Once you're injecting drugs, you're pretty bad. You're in a pretty bad way. So it took about 5 years. It almost tore our family apart. It took us 5 years to convince her to go to treatment, but she did. She did 30 days, and when she came out, she came to live at home. And she did pretty good for a little while. And then the day after Christmas, we had ran some errands, and when I came home, I walked into the house and knew immediately that something was wrong. And I ran to the basement, and there was my little girl lying over the tub. It's my son. She was blue, and there was a needle still in her arm. That last time she decided to use was her last time. So as a parent, I beat myself up. What did I do wrong? The mom in this story, it started me off and really upset me, and that was my life. And I've done a lot of research since then and tried to figure out what did go wrong, you know, and I didn't cause it. I can't cure it. They have to have a desire to do that themselves. But I do know that pain causes all addiction, whether it's physical pain or emotional pain. There are many moms up here, if you can raise your hand. How many of your moms or your children started with OxyContin? By raise of hand. Sometimes from an injury. We have somebody here, their son was injured really badly in an ATV injury, or a surgery, or a athletic injury. But Alima said 80%. I thought it was 75, but it's 75 to 80% of heroin users start with OxyContin. So be careful when you get pills. We have this new incentive out there that says, or initiative that says, only as prescribed. Well, here's what I would tell you. Sometimes the doctors aren't up to snuff on this stuff. Sometimes they're really not up to the level that they should be. And if you go get your wisdom teeth out and they give you 32 pills, my suggestion is take 5. Take 5 and see how you feel. A little pain is not going to kill anybody, but too many pain pills will kill you, and they will make you addicted. So there's my suggestion for that. The other kind of pain is emotional, and I thought back to my high school years and how painful it was. It was not fun. Boys broke up with me. I didn't get asked to dances. There's a lot of emotional pain that goes on in high school, but what I want to say about that is that high school is temporary. Life starts after high school. It's just a fact. You'll meet your lifelong friends after high school. So use the tools that they've talked about up here today, the new app. Use the tools that we have to keep yourself clean and confide in somebody. We're not talking about this. If you're struggling, talk to somebody, whether it's about suicide, whether it's about drug, you might be using drugs, or a friend is using drugs. Do you know that everybody in that picture, every single person in that dance picture, knew Mackenzie was using? Nobody said anything to me. Had I known 2 years earlier when she was just using marijuana and alcohol, do you think my chances would have been so much better of saving her or helping her find the right help? Absolutely. Absolutely. So in preparation for this, I asked one of my friends who's in recovery, long-term recovery, and I said, hey, what can I tell these guys? I want to give them some advice that will help them. I'm not in recovery. I went through an addiction with a child, but I'm not in recovery. And you know what he told me? He said, when you guys go and do something and you're with friends, if you were in a room and you would not do whatever you're going to do in front of your mom, your best friend, or a stranger, a complete stranger, don't do it. Get out of the situation. And get away from those friends. You become like the friends you hang out with. So Kenzie changed friends. Should have been assigned to me, but it wasn't. I know more now. And when you know better, you do better. So if I could just point out to you, these are my parents who have become my mom and warrior club. Do you think how hard it is for these moms to lose a child, and yet their biggest hope is to show up here so that they might save one of you? I want you to give them a round of applause, because this is not easy. One more quick little thing. I only had a few minutes and I've probably gone over, but I don't know if they can put the picture of Mackenzie back up there with her doll. That might be impossible. But what I would like you to do, if I can't get that picture up there, maybe you could take a picture of these moms, take out your phones, and because you know what? This is what addiction looks like. That little girl sitting there holding a doll, that is what addiction looks like. And as soon as we stop the shame and we start talking about it and we start loving people who are different than us so they will talk to us and they will share, our world will change. Nothing else is going to change it. Not a pill from a doctor. It's got to be sharing without shame. These are all pictures of kids or have lost their life to overdose. So a lot of us have these shirts on. About 600 kids, and I got those pictures within a span of 3 weeks. So it's an epidemic. I don't want to see any of you fall victim to this. And you know what I want even more than that? I don't want your moms to be part of my club. I do not want them on the stage in a year or 5 years or 10 years. So please, talk to people, share your struggles. Don't take too many pills if you have a surgery, and just do your very best and share without shame. Thank you, everybody. Oh, sorry.
Will you guys please show Amber that you love her and that you love these parents and you love these families one more time? So, I haven't been performing for a very long time. I'm only 16, but I have found in my experiences getting to know musicians and entertainers from all around the world that often the people who have had the hardest experiences are the ones who have the most meaningful messages to share. And Matt Butler is definitely one of those people. So will you guys please give a warm welcome to Matt Butler, a singer-songwriter from here, Utah. Thank you.
There must be something going on behind me that you guys are all clapping for or something. I appreciate it. Well, I appreciate that very much, guys. I'm coming from New York City, and I don't usually spend my mornings playing in packed basketball stadiums, so I appreciate you making me feel very warmly welcomed. I like that. That's cool. So, my name's Matt, and I'm somebody in long-term recovery. I haven't had a drink or a drug in over 5 years. Appreciate that very much. Wow. I'm nervous. I'm here because a couple years ago I was asked to write a song for a documentary film called Generation Found, which is a film about recovery high schools, which are high schools created specifically for kids who are suffering or struggling with substance abuse disorder and working to sustain their own recoveries. And when I got invited to join that project, it hit home for me very personally because that's, you know, the period of time when I started to struggle really intensely with drugs and alcohol. I started drinking heavy by the time I was 12 or 13 and was a pretty professional drug user, you know, by the time I was 16 to 17 years old. And when I got invited to take part in the project, that was going to help, you know, it would allow me to use my own story and some of my own gifts to, you know, to be of service in that way. It just seemed like such a beautiful way to come full circle on my own struggles and my own story. And this song means a lot to me. It's taken me all around the country. And, you know, I like to think that when I perform, or when we do something like this today, even though there's a crazy amount of people out there right now, that if one person in this room gets something out of it, then we all did a real good job. And, you know, I can go home and get a good night's sleep in my hotel room. No, I did good today. So, without further ado, folks, I'm going to play you this song that I wrote. I think I asked too many questions, and I know I'll never understand how to help all those around me when I am just one man. And there's so many who feel helpless, that there's just too much to be done. But I know it makes all the difference. That revolution has begun. If I can help just one, and he can help just one, she can help just one. If we can help just one, well, I'll put my heart into my labor, and I'll burn my back under the sun, and I'll share the harvest with all my neighbors. I'll work until my hands are numb. If I can help just one, and he can help just one, and she can help just one. If we can help just one, always hoping I'd get something back. So now I'll offer this reflection to all the mourners dressed in black. But Lord knows it's so hard to pray when mercy only comes to some. We seek forgiveness when we rise each day, because our work is never done. If we can help just one, if we can help just one, just one. For just one. Well, thank you for giving me that, guys.
Please welcome from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Elder Alan Haney.
Well, as was announced, I serve as a general authority in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, but that's not the only reason you should listen to me today. You should listen to me because I remember being young like all of you. I remember trying to fit in. I remember walking into a cafeteria and wondering where to sit. I remember failing a test, not making a team, and crashing the family car. I remember being you. Because we're human, we yearn for connection. And sometimes we connect without even realizing it. Sometimes you'll be sitting next to somebody and they'll yawn and you'll yawn. Or people will be laughing and you'll start laughing without even knowing why they're laughing. The world's growing more connected, and you live in a time in which you can easily connect with someone across the world through the internet, your cell phone, and through social media. But as you become more and more digitally connected, don't let the digital connections replace the infinitely more important human connection. The simple fact is that an emoji hug really doesn't help much, especially during tough times. I'd like to talk about two elements of connection if I could. First of all, how connections can help you, and then how you can connect with and help others. Sometimes we make bad choices that lead to negative consequences. I remember once, prior to going on a date, trading the main course of my cafeteria meal for 4 servings of apple crisp dessert. I then compounded that mistake by going on a date with a girl at Lagoon, and we went on one of those rides that go around and around and around. And you can imagine what happened to the apple crisp dessert, and we never went on another date. However, many of the trials and hardships we experience are unavoidable and sometimes not even a product of our own choice. As a good friend of mine once told me, he had been a prisoner of war for 7 years during the Vietnam War. And he told me life breaks everyone. But during those moments of breaking, that's when we most need to be connected. We need to have other people who can be there to help us through those things that are unpredictable and unfortunate. Now, the most natural connection point's your family, parents and siblings, people who love you and can guide you and can help you. If you're struggling with opioids or anything, I urge you to talk to your parents. Talk to an older brother or an older sister. Let the people closest to you, who you can trust the most, help you through some of those struggles. Now, having said that, I realize some of you don't have perfect family situations, and you may not be comfortable going to a family member to talk about the things that you're struggling with. If that's the case, please know there are other sources of support and other people who can help. At your age, one of the best sources of connection are associated with school. You're surrounded by caring teachers, you have friends who relate to you, you have activities you can become involved in. Teachers do more than just teach. They can offer a listening ear, provide support and guidance, and help you grow. One of the teachers who most influenced me when I was in high school started out being the teacher I liked least, and the feeling was mutual on his part. Years later, he'd have me come back to the high school to speak to the students in his classes. And he would always introduce me by saying, "This is the student that I most disliked at first, but over time became one that I was sad to see graduate." As you know, friends are essential. Find friends that will make you better, that will stand by you through good times and bad times. I still get together. It's been 40 years since I graduated from high school, more than 40 years, and I still get together with the same 6 friends every single year to remain connected and to talk about solutions to going bald. Create connections with involvement through opportunities in your school and community, with clubs, sports, and other activities. They create lasting friendships, and quite frankly, they help you deal with some of the stresses that are associated with growing up. If there isn't a club that interests you, start your own. When I was in high school, we started a club called the Apathy Club. We never actually met as a club because if we had, we wouldn't have been qualified to be a member of the Apathy Club. But somehow we convinced high school administrators to let us make weekly announcements of activities that the Apathy Club was hosting that no one ever attended because we were all apathetic members of the Apathy Club. Another vital point of connection is faith. The New Testament writer Matthew quoted the following words of Jesus Christ: "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." I don't know about you, but those words give me great hope. We really are all part of his family. You can also find connections through your community's faith leader, whether a pastor, a rabbi, a bishop, an imam. They can all offer you help and serve as a mentor to you. I wanted to share one story with you that helps emphasize the importance of helping others. When I was in high school, there was a boy named Douglas who candidly didn't have any friends. He didn't look right. He didn't wear the right clothes. He wasn't good at sports or, quite frankly, at anything that I knew of. He'd been teased and ridiculed in elementary school, junior high, and high school. I never harassed him, but I never reached out to him either. Remember that Apathy Club I just told you about that we started? In my senior year of high school, it sort of became famous. Everybody looked forward to the weekly announcements of the dumb things that the Apathy Club was sponsoring. One day, Douglas came up to me in the hallway of the high school, and he handed me a piece of paper, and he said, "I wrote an announcement for the Apathy Club. I hope you'll use it." And then he walked away. I opened up the piece of paper and looked at what he'd written, and it was funny. I mean, it was really funny. So the next week, we read the announcement that Douglas had written for the Apathy Club. As we walked down the halls that day, people kept saying to us, "That was the funniest one ever. You guys are geniuses." And we said we didn't write the announcement. And they said, "Who wrote it?" And we said, "Douglas." And they said, "No way." And we said, "No, it was Douglas." And a week later, he came up and handed me another piece of paper with another announcement. And it was even funnier than the last one. So we read that one too. That was his moment to connect. For a few short months, at the end of his high school experience, he fit in. He was connected to all of us. All he needed was a chance, and it didn't, quite frankly, cost us anything at all. Now, in today's world, some are challenged by more than just feeling isolated. Some struggle with debilitating addictions that on their own they're probably unable to overcome. There's a critical first step for any of you who are struggling with that. You need to be honest with yourselves. and you need to be honest with those who want to help. It can be hard because there's this unnecessary stigma that attaches to the word addiction. People are afraid to share that they're struggling with something like that for fear of how people will view them. But the simple reality is we all experience different kinds of struggles, all of us, and we can be a strength to each other. Don't judge those who are facing a challenge different from your own. Help them. Be patient and understanding. Don't give up on anyone. No one is a lost cause. Find connections to overcome your difficulties and offer a helping hand to those in need of your strength and your comfort. Don't replace a friendship with a phone. Keep yawning, keep laughing with those around you. Life really is meant to be enjoyed, and it's best enjoyed together. Thank you.
Okay, guys. You guys are such troopers. Wow. Have you guys finished all your food yet? Are you still hanging in there? You got to get some more when we're done here. Well, we want to show you a couple more short videos. One will be telling you about another super innovative tool called the Safe UT app, and it's won national recognition for its effectiveness. And we're going to have another video highlighting a high school that has done so well in connecting with the community and coming together to address this problem. Let's watch.
I felt overwhelmed, scared, unsure. I didn't know who to turn to. Then I remembered the Safe UT app on my phone. It was pretty late, but I decided to text with a crisis counselor. I'll never regret making that decision.
Utah students, contact Safe UT anytime. Within minutes, you'll be in touch with a licensed professional who will listen to you with 100% confidentiality. Download the free app today. Sometimes the person who will make the biggest impact in your life could be someone you've never met.
When I got the news that one of our students had taken her life, I remember sitting right here in my office, and it was like somebody just punched me in the gut. I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know how to react, and it was just a brutal experience for me. But it just seemed like there was a dark cloud over our school, and I could not shake it. And I don't know if that was more me being somewhat depressed or what it was, but it was just a difficult time at our school. I talked about it in our leadership team meeting and asked what we could do, and one of our teachers said, you need to go back and watch this TED Talk that I'd showed the faculty earlier, and it was by Sean Acor.
Downturn. And what I found is that most companies and schools follow a formula for success, which is this: if I work harder, I'll be more successful. And if I'm more successful, then I'll be happier. That undergirds most of our parenting styles, our managing styles, the way that we motivate our behavior. And the problem is it's scientifically broken and backwards for two reasons. First, every time your brain has a success, you just change the goalpost of what success looked like. You got good grades, now you have to get better grades. You got into a good school, now you have to get a better school. You got a good job, now you have to get a better job. You hit your sales target, we're going to change your sales target. And if happiness is on the opposite side of success, your brain never gets there. But the real problem is our brains work in the opposite order. If you can raise somebody's level of positivity in the present, then their brain experiences what we now call a happiness advantage, which is your brain at positive performs significantly better than it does at negative, neutral, or stressed.
In his talk, he suggested there's 5 things that we should do each day. And by doing that, it helps your positivity. Those 5 things that we encourage everyone to do is write down 3 things that you're grateful for each day. Write down 1 positive experience from the last 24 hours. We encourage everyone to exercise, to meditate, and then we started calling it random act of kindness, and we changed that to a conscientious act of kindness now, where you just find someone who can need a boost and try to do something to help them.
Our long-term happiness is only 10% dependent upon our internal factors, things that happen to us. The other 90% is based on how we interpret those events.
Positive in the present, it helps me think about my family. It makes me think about the little things in life that I love and the little things I love to do.
And I've totally noticed a huge difference in my life. I'm happier, more positive, and all my friends are like, you're always smiling. I'm like, I think it's positive in the present, so it's definitely helped me out a lot.
About a year and a half ago, I surrounded myself with people that weren't the best influences, but they weren't bad people. I started making choices that I knew I shouldn't make, and I fell into a really dark and scary place where I found myself very isolated, and I felt like I had no one to turn to, but I was looking in all the wrong places for help. That's until I came to Salem and I was introduced to the positive of the presence, and that's when you write 3 positive things a day and a random act of kindness and something positive that happened in your day the last 24 hours. And at first I was like, this is not going to work for me. I am in such a place where I need a lot more help than just writing things down on a paper. But it sounds very dramatic, but Positive in the Present saved my life. And if it weren't for this program of it, I know I wouldn't be here today. And with Positive in the Presence, it's taught me that I had the right to be sad, but I had every opportunity to be happy.
I've been through a lot in these past few months. Earlier this year, I tried to commit suicide at one point, and I just felt like there was nothing, I had nothing to live for. But it's not the truth. It's never the truth. It's never something that you should ever go to. You have friends, you have family, you have everybody there for you, and they will always be there for you.
When I was 11, I was diagnosed with anxiety, and when I was 12, I was diagnosed with depression, and then when I was 13, I was diagnosed with panic disorder and OCD. So I kind of have a lot of mental illness challenges, and it's been kind of hard to overcome, and I've had to go through a lot to get there. I don't know, something I just really try to focus on, which I really like about this school, is that it focuses a lot on happiness. I definitely get in my head these are all the things that are wrong, this is what's wrong with me, this is what's wrong with my life, this is what I need to do better, this is what I'm failing at, and I get just so overwhelmed, and it's just this weight on top of me, and I just feel like I can't move anywhere from that. And so it's once I start focusing on the positive and the good in my life and looking for the good, it's the rest of that stuff doesn't matter, and it's the weight is lifted.
We sit down, and it really allows us to have time to think about what we're grateful for and the positive, happy moments that are in our lives, because as most high school students know, high school can be kind of rough sometimes.
So I want to challenge you to do a couple of things. First thing is this, but I want you to do the 10-5 rule today. That is, whenever you get within 10 feet of somebody, look them in the eye and smile, and then when you get within 5 feet, say hello to them. You don't know what kind of difference that can make in people's lives today. The second thing is this. I would like us, we've done this periodically, I would love you to get out your cell phones right now and just do a quick text message or an email or something to someone who has made a difference in your life. Remember that as you do that, you get a dopamine rush, and when they get it, they get a dopamine rush, and then when they send something back to you, it's a double dipper for everybody.
When I do a random act of kindness, I think both people are served, because I can benefit it from myself, because I feel like I'm actually getting out there and helping someone, and it makes me happy to do that act of kindness, and then it helps them, because it's kind of just somebody's there for me and actually thinking about me.
Your social connections are as predictive of how long you will live in a positive way as smoking, obesity, and high blood pressure are in a negative way. So at that point we decided we need to focus on some social connections, and I was driving down the road, heard the song on the radio, New Politics, called One of Us. And so the lyrics are awesome, and we've incorporated that as our theme. So the lead, the melody, the chorus is everybody needs a place to call their home. Everybody needs someone to call their own. Even when you're lonely, know you're not alone, you're one of us.
The One of Us Club is a club that I started here at school for kids who are struggling with suicidal thoughts and mental illness, because my brother committed suicide this past April, and my mom has struggled with mental health issues her whole life, and my family has a lot of history of that, and I just wanted to help people not feel alone and feel like they have a place in the world, and that not all hope is lost, because hope is out there. But I feel like really showing your love and showing kindness for people makes such a big difference, because they see that you went out of their way for them, and so I know when people go out of their way for me, especially when I'm feeling really depressed or lonely, I'm like, maybe I'm not alone in the world, and maybe things wouldn't be better if I was gone, because I have definitely dealt with a lot of suicidal thoughts. And just being able to see that there's people in the world who genuinely care about me, then I think that's cool, so just be really genuine.
The Covered Bridge Canyon community in Spanish Fork is now under mandatory evacuation as the Pole Creek fire continues to inch closer to homes.
I was at school and I got a phone call from my parents, and they said they were sending me a list on their phone, they were in Nashville, of all the things I need to grab from my house. And that I was just supposed to go pick up my little sister and go home and just start packing things up.
And my mom's like, Haley, we gotta go. And I was like, what? And she's like, we're being evacuated. I was like, oh, well, shoot. And so we got close, and I could see the flames at my house, and I started crying. And I was like, Mom, my childhood's burning in front of my face.
It was really cool to see everybody come together and help you in a way that can't be done if you're not being evacuated, you know.
I know here that I'm a part of something and I'm not going to be left out or anything, and there's people that are going to be there that are going to care for you.
There were times that I just went to my friends and just told them, I'm struggling, I need your help and I need you to go take me to do something or just come be with me. And I think that that's okay. It's okay to know that it was hard and it was something that was scary, and it's okay to need help.
So if I can somehow wire my brain to view things as positive, view things that I'm in control of my external world, that I get to decide how I react to those things, and I have social support around me to help me through those things, then regardless of what we're going through, no matter how difficult those challenges are, I can make it through those with a happy, joyous mindset.
My experience has been that it's changed my life. I really have learned to focus more on the positive things, and it really does make a difference, so it's good stuff. But the one thing that I think I'm most proud about our school is that we really are trying to attack it head on and not wait for tragedy to happen, but try to be proactive in helping our students find tools that they need to be successful in life.
And
we'll start over. No, you're good. You're good.
Sorry, no, you're fine. It just distracted me.
You're so cute. Good job.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
My advice to anyone who is struggling is reach out to somebody, whether it's a friend, whether it's a teacher, a parent, a religious leader, a counselor. You have to have someone to talk to.
That you're not alone, and there are people that love you in the world. Sorry if I cry. Not all hope is lost, and it's not the end of the world. If you're hurting, just let someone know, and someone's gonna help you. You're not alone.
Good friends, hard to find, let's face it. Now the perfect timing is flood in the basement.
Hey, what's up? This is awesome. Hey, I am Bart Thompson. I'm one of the teachers that was in the video. I was the one with the good hair up there. We just get a minute to just share what we're doing at Salem Hills High School. I'm the psychology teacher there, and so I like to pretend like I know what I'm talking about when it comes to the science of it. But here's the reality. When we can start our day with the positive in the present that we do at Salem Hills High School, it releases a flood of dopamine into our brains every morning. So we get that joyous feeling. But not only that, it turns on all of our learning centers into our brain. So our kids are more productive. Intelligence rises. In fact, they're 31% more productive is what the research shows. They're more intelligent. Their creativity triples. And we feel really good. It's awesome. I challenge you to go home and try that. 3 things you're grateful for every day. Just write them down in your journal. A thing you're grateful for. It's a great way to start your morning.
Hi everyone, my name's Ashlyn Hill. Hi. I just wanted to say that every single person in this room has something they're struggling with, whether that be spiritually, emotionally, physically, or mentally. I know everyone's felt that in this room. But all that means is together, we all have something more to offer to each other. So you have options to do positive in the present. Take that chance to do it because it will change your life forever. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Bart Perry. I'm the principal at Salem Hills High School. We have the best students. All of this stuff that we're sharing with you today is stuff that you can do. It's free, it's easy, and it really does change your life. The social connection is the key thing. Our theme is one of us. We all want to have someone that we can turn to. So I've asked my students to write on a cardstock paper, someone that they will go to if they need help. So I'm going to have them stand up, show their signs. We've got 200 of us here today. And I will end with this. I hope you understand the power that you have, because it just takes a smile, a simple jest of kindness, and you can change the world, and that's what we're looking for. So let's change the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey, how about a nice round of applause, Salem Hills High School? Congratulations to them. Are you guys having a good time? Yeah? I know there's some schools that will need to leave at about 11:30. We're about 11:15 right now. If you have to take off, we understand that, but we want everybody to stay for as long as you can because we've got some great athletes coming up. And we also have Lexi Walker will be singing at the end. It's going to be a party. So as you guys know, I broadcast for the Utah Jazz. I'm in this building a lot. I've been covering the Jazz since 1996, and I can tell you my experience, there are many nights when the best athlete on the floor is not from the NBA, but he does have a Hall of Fame, a marker up here in the arena, the Jazz Bear. He's been doing this for a long time, and I've seen him go through lots of crashes and injuries over the years, and if anybody needed to take drugs to feel better, this guy has every excuse to, but never has. Take a look at my man, the Bear. Give it up for the Bear. Man, what an amazing athlete. And he's in the Mascot Hall of Fame. We're so proud of him. He wanted to be here today, but as you know, the Utah Jazz, they played in Sacramento last night, so my man is traveling. But guess what? He is connected, right? He's connected. So his boys, his buddies are here to party with you today. Please welcome Bumble. How about Leo and Buster? Go ahead and stand up. We got some free stuff for you. Come on. All right, all right, all right. Yeah.
Let's get it going.
Yeah. Who needs some free stuff? Make some noise over here. How about on this side? Right up here. How about right here, this side over here? Yeah. Hey, Bumble, we need something right here, 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 Bumble, right here. Keep making noise. Keep it going for our mascots from the Salt Lake City Stars, from Real Salt Lake, and from our bees. All of our mascots, along with the DEA, Brian Besser, our Attorney General, Sean Reyes. Are you guys having a good time? There's somebody responsible for this, and that man has flown all the way from Washington, D.C., and no, Buster, it's not you. And I want you to put your hands together to welcome a guy that is fighting for us in Washington, D.C., and he is the reason why this summit has been going for 5 years now, and the focus today being on the opioid crisis. A great man, our Senator Mike Lee.
Hello, Utah. Hey, let me ask you one question. Is this more fun than being in school? Yeah. But, you know, school's awfully important too. It's important for lots of reasons. It's important because, among other things, that's where we meet people who will be friends for life. I want to introduce you to a friend, my best friend since high school. This is my wife, Sharon. It's important to remember everybody needs a friend, and everyone can be a friend. Friends can get you all through all kinds of things, just as Sharon has gotten me through good times and bad times. We've learned a lot today. We've talked a lot today, and I've hoped everyone has had the opportunity to download 2 apps, the Safe UT app and the Fend app. Has anybody done that? Okay, and if you haven't done it yet, do it, because if you've downloaded these apps, we've got a free gift for you on your way out the door, so thank you. Before we step off the stage, Sharon and I want to take a selfie with you. Are you up for that? All right. Somebody makes 1, 2, 3. Okay. In just a minute, when I walk up the stage, when you guys are on your way out, I want everybody to take a selfie with whoever you're sitting next to. That's a reminder of the fact that you're going to be able to stay in contact with them. You'll be able to help them. They'll be able to help you. Together we can get through this. Together we can help people live safer, healthier, happier, longer lives. We can, we must, and together we will. Thank you very much.
Again, give it up for Senator Mike Lee. The senator literally was supposed to be here last night, got stuck in the session back in Washington, D.C., and ends up flying here this morning to be with you guys. And so we appreciate his attendance and his willingness to put on this fantastic summit. We're headed down the home stretch. You guys feeling good? We're going to make it. We're going to make it. And the best way to do it is to do it with some athletes that give us some juice as we follow through to the end. Then Lexi Walker will finish up. So please, now bring to the stage a guy that's just an unbelievable inspiration, great athlete, UFC welterweight, soon-to-be champion, count on that, winner of the Ultimate Fighter Season 11. He's a Utah native, representing the Layton Lancers, ladies and gentlemen, Court the Crusher, McGee.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Hey, I shed blood 2 years ago in this arena at UFC Fight Night Salt Lake City. I'm not going to shed any blood today, maybe a little later during practice, but I'm going to share a little bit of my story, and I don't have much time. So, September 9th, 2005, just 2 years out of high school, I overdosed on heroin. And it started in high school. I was prescribed pain pills because of an injury sustained as an athlete. But I overdosed on that night, and it was an accident. I was pronounced clinically dead for some 8 minutes. They did CPR and defibrillations, and a narcotics officer who found the syringe that I overdosed on called and said he needs Narcolone. It was an opiate overdose. So they brought me back. And that was the worst and best day of my life. The one really important thing that changed my life was a role model with a solution came to my bedside after I came to. He was a role model with a solution. He had long-term sobriety. And he outlined a program of recovery for me. And with some slips, over the next 6 months, I established my sobriety, which is April 16th, 2006. That's 4,563 days of continuous sobriety. I've been through 9, thank you. In the 8 years I've been in the UFC, I've been through 9 surgeries, and I've done all of them completely non-narcotic. Because I know where it takes me. Now, I lost everything September 9th, 2005. I lost everything. And at that rock bottom, on April 16th, 2006, I built a foundation. I surrounded myself with people in long-term recovery, and that role model with the solution that outlined a program of recovery for me, I followed what he said. And just shy of 5 years later, and 4,000 hours of hard training, I made it on season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter, and I won that season with a 6-figure contract. More important than that, I dedicated that fight to all those who were struggling. See, I'm motivated and I'm determined as an athlete. I drove 600 miles to be here because this is important. This is my driving force as an athlete. I fight 2 weeks from Saturday, UFC Fight Night 83 in New Brunswick, Canada. It'll be on Fox Sports 1, October 27th. And outside of that story, on the 28th, I'll be celebrating 10 years of marriage. I fell in love with my high school sweetheart at 15 years old, and I met her on the Layton High soccer field. I've been chasing her for 17 years. We've been together longer than we haven't, and she's here supporting me in the back. I have 2 amazing sons. I've had all these opportunities in my life. My last 17 fights have been in the UFC at the highest level in the world. And all that's because I'm sober. All that's because I'm in recovery. Right? And that's all wonderful, but this next little portion, I'm going to need some help from the audience. How many of you honestly are sitting next to 2 of your close friends? By the raise of hands. All right. I like that. See, I was never a part of any of this when I was in high school. But I would have been, if I was in this audience and I would have been sitting next to my 2 friends, it would have been Brady and Cody. Kids that I grew up with since before grade school. Now, all 3 of us had one thing absolute in common. We had the disease of addiction inherent in our personality long before we took those pills we were prescribed for pain. Long before we smoked a joint. Long before we drank any alcohol. We had the disease of addiction inherent in our personality. Now, all 3 of us overdosed accidentally. I had the chance to come back. I was given a second chance, but they didn't. Both of them died. One on my 6-year sobriety birthday, that was Brady, and Cody died early on this spring. And I saw the damage that it caused to their family and their children. You show me your friends and I'll show you your future. That's the truth. That's the truth of this disease. Now, everybody in here can accomplish incredible things, but I promise you, you can't accomplish it loaded. You will not be a better student or a better son. You will have to lead a double life, and you will go down a deep, dark hole, the same hole I was in September 9th, 2005. I was trying to overcome an addiction beyond my mental control. I can't use or drink. Today, I choose to live. So after winning the Ultimate Fighter, I was asked to do my first appearance. It was crazy. They wanted to pay me money to sign my name. And so I sat down at this event and I signed my name, and this old guy said he snuck out of church. It was Sunday. And he was like, I don't know what you do, this M&A stuff. He pronounced it wrong. He had no idea what he was talking about, but my grandson absolutely loves you. He says you're the greatest, but will you give him something inspirational? And this is what I'm going to leave you with. Was the very first autograph I signed. I said, always work hard and never give up on your dreams. Thank you.
Court McGee, the Crusher. How about that, man? What a day. What a day it has been. All the superstars on this stage. The next athlete we're going to hear from is somebody that has a special place in my heart, because I followed this kid when he was a standout running back at a place called Cottonwood High School. Got any Colts in the house? Cottonwood High School. Amazing running back, went on to play at USC and then on to the NFL. But drugs took this brother down. And I knew Stanley Havili during all of this time when he was playing ball, but I really got to know Stanley when he came to Renaissance Ranch Treatment Centers to get treatment for his addiction. And I was fortunate enough to be his counselor and share with him my experience, strength, and hope. So here to share his story with us via video, in his own words, Stanley Havili.
My name is Stanley Havili, and this is my opioid story. From the minute I stepped on the field as a child, I wanted to play in the NFL. After my time at USC, I was drafted in the 7th round by the Philadelphia Eagles. And I went on to play there for 2 years, and then I got traded to the Colts. Their offense primarily uses the fullback to run and block. By the second week of the season, my body was worn out. And before we played the San Francisco 49ers, the 3rd, 4th game of the year, I remember one of my teammates saying, hey, Stanley, if you take this pill to play, you won't feel the shoulder pain, the neck pain, the knee pain that you're feeling going into the game. And I took the pill. And I went out there and I played a great game, and I felt invincible. Within 3 to 4 weeks, I was taking it every day. I just couldn't live without it. All along, I was using it behind closed doors. My wife had found text messages of me lying and meeting people and buying things to use. She had filed for divorce. I stayed in a variety of different hotels for 7 months. And I was just hopping around, using all the money that I had gained playing in the NFL. Still in a very strong denial that I had a problem. And also, there was a lot of shame and guilt. A year prior to this, I was getting ready for an NFL season. And here I was, 3 o'clock in the morning, buying drugs in the parking lot. And so, on July 25th, I decided it was best probably to take my life. I was found, taken to a hospital, and my stomach was pumped. I woke up and I was still ashamed. Couldn't believe that I was alive. Didn't want to live without my family. My bottom was August 8, 2015. 2 days after I got out of this psych ward. Leaving this place, I had no intention of ever using again. I saw the pain that it did to my family. And 2 days out of this place, I used again. I couldn't believe it. It was in that moment that I realized that I really didn't have what it took to get myself out of this hole, and I really did need help. And So from then on, I reached out to professionals that knew what addiction was and what mental health was. And I received the help I needed. And I still remember the first time I walked into Alema's office. And he sat there and he listened. And then he related. And then he was connecting with me on a level that I had never connected with someone before. And it helped me realize the power of empathy. What I discovered instead of the drugs is God. I find that instead of using drugs, I go out and serve and do what Alema did for me. Help people. Tell my story. Not be ashamed of the hole that I was once in. If you are having the same thoughts that I did when I was going through my addiction, that I'm alone, I'm worthless, and no one understands, please don't believe that. There is help out there.
Woo! Man, what a powerful story this man has. And I just want to share with you that Stanley Havili would like to be here today, but he currently is in Minnesota at the Hazelden Institution, which is one of the renowned addiction recovery institutes in the world. And he's getting an advanced degree to become a counselor so he can continue to carry the message. And that, yeah, you can give that a round of applause. Right on, God. That brother is a walking miracle. All right, our last athlete, we saved the best for last, man, because this kid, he's just a ball of energy. You guys are going to get hyped. And I want you to know before we get started how to spell his last name, because it's pronounced Care, but you follow him on Instagram at Ben, B-E-N, Care, K-J-A-R, on Facebook, Ben Care. He is an NCAA wrestling champion, and he is going to inspire you with his words right now. Please bring to the stage Ben Care.
What's up, Salt Lake City? That's not too bad, but last time I checked, there were people in this building. I said, what's up, Salt Lake City? Now we're talking, Salt Lake. Now we're talking. Now we're here to say no to drugs. That's right. But we're here to say yes to positive things. We're here to say yes to life. We're here to say yes to success. We're here to say yes to opportunity. We're here to say yes to friendships. Let me hear you guys say yes on 3. Let's let Las Vegas hear it. 1, 2, 3. Let's let New York City hear this. 1, 2, 3. Guys, what I love to hear is people like Alema, my friend, share his story. I love to hear people like Court McGee share his story. Didn't you love how he crushed drugs? The crusher crushed drugs. Everybody say crusher on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Guys, that's what this is about. We're here to take over. We're here to smash disease. We're here to say yes to everything, not just good, great. We're not meant for good. We're meant for greatness. Everybody say greatness on 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Guys, I didn't always believe that, believe it or not. There's one guy out there, he's like, I love it. My dude, I love you, man. I want to tell you one time when I didn't believe I was that. I want to tell you one time where I could have went down that path, and I decided not to. And at the end of my time right here, I'm going to leave you with one gift that I've left with people around America, and it's the most important thing that I could share with you. But one time I was in a grocery store because I was born with Cruzon syndrome. And in that grocery store, people saw I was different. People saw that I looked different. And when they saw my face, they noticed, and they made other people notice. I was sitting in the grocery store, and there was two kids that were my age. I was with my friend's mom, and as she was checking out, the man in front of her was also checking out. But he wasn't just checking groceries out, he was checking around and making sure that everyone knew that I looked different. As he sat there and he looked around, he saw me sitting and standing next to my friend. As he looked around and made sure everybody saw that they saw me, he nudged the two kids, his two kids. And he pointed at me. And not quietly, he said, "Hey kids, look at that kid. Look at how he looks. Look at how funny he looks. He's so much different. Aren't you so glad you don't look like that? Aren't you so glad you don't have to deal with the things that he has to deal with?" And he was laughing. His kids, they didn't know what to say. They didn't know what to do, and so they started kind of laughing. Next thing he did was he took his kids and put them behind him. And he grabbed him away from me and said, "Don't touch him. He might be contagious. I don't want that to spread to you." I went home. It was a quiet ride. I went home with my friend's mom. I go in, and I went in my dad's office. And guys, at that moment, I felt like I wanted to end. At that moment, I wanted a different feeling. I wanted out. I remember my mom came in the bathroom, and she broke in, and finally she held me, and she said, "Ben, what happened? What happened?" Guys, I was in that situation, and when she came in, I felt like I wanted a way out, and I was trying to tear my face off. I was trying to find a way out of that pain. And I had a choice to make. I had a chance to choose the higher road or lower road. I call it victor or victim. And my mom said, "Ben, this is going to happen again. And you're going to have that opportunity, that choice. What are you going to choose?" And I said, "I want to choose victor." "But Mom, you don't understand. When I was there, I wanted to tear whatever they were making fun of off. If it was something I was wearing, I would have ripped it up and torn it off." "You don't understand." She's like, "I don't, you're right. But we got to choose something big. We got to choose something better. We got to choose yes. We got to choose opportunity." So I want to give you an example because this is what she taught me. I got a $20 bill here in my pocket. How much is this $20 bill worth? It's not a trick question. $20, good. You guys are in high school. I like this. I'm going to take this right here, this $20 bill, and I'm going to crumple it up. And I'm going to throw it down, and I'm going to stamp on it. How much is that $20 bill worth? Come on. Okay. I'm going to crumple it up even more. I'm going to rub it with my backside. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to stamp on it more, and I'm even going to punch it, make fun of it. And my friends, I'm even going to tear into this thing. What's this bill worth right now? Here's a question, my friends. If this is worth 20, come and get it. Give him a hand, come on. Come here, my friend, come here, hustle. You just picked up a dollar bill, a $20 bill that's been crushed, mutilated, maybe put on my backside, but you picked it up. Why?
Because it's still worth $20.
Give him a hand, people. All right, come here. Hey, Matsuoka, come here, buddy. So you say it's still worth $20.
Yes, it is.
I don't know if we understand, because this is what we need to leave here with today. We're crushed, we're mutilated, we're taken down, and somehow we think we're worth less. How are we worth the same?
Shoot, now I'm put on the spot a little bit, but this was worth $20 at the beginning. No matter what it goes through, no matter what things happen to it, it is still $20 worth. I was going to say like some good, but it kind of got lost. But this is still $20 of American currency. If we get crushed, if we get mutilated, we are still worth what we were worth at the beginning, which is so much more than we could ever imagine.
Put it up, come on! Salt Lake City! Salt Lake City! Guys, I want to tell you something. That's what we're about here in Salt Lake City. So I start going out, I start saying something. I started to be somebody. And guess what? I started having some success because I was saying yes to those things. And one time, ESPN and Sports Center put a camera in front of my face. They said, Ben, you're the Cinderella story of this tournament. You're the first All-American ever from your school. Say something. And I knew that something was about to happen because I remember when I was in front of just 10 people at that market, the looks I got. And I knew I was about to be in front of hundreds of thousands. The video went out, and as you know on YouTube, there's comments underneath those videos. And there's a little boy who made a comment from I don't know where, and he said this. Imagine me being that 20 bill, right? Imagine me listening to what he's about to say. He said, I don't know who this kid is. I don't know why you guys put a camera in front of his face, but he should go back to the hole that he's came from. He's one of the ugliest people I've ever seen. How dare you guys do this? This is despicable. I can't believe I'm still watching this. And he signs off. Guys, but because we're here today and because I know that we have the opportunity to be worth the highest potential, that no matter if we're mutilated, made fun of, been a part of drugs, been a part of divorces, been a part of pain, that we're worth it, guys. That you're worth it. But I want to tell you that once you know you're worth it, once you know that you're enough, once you know that you are something, life changes. Lemon gets up and shares his story. Crusher gets up and shares his story because he knows he's worth it. And at this time, I knew I was worth it. So guess what? My story changed. I went back and I made a comment underneath his comment on the video. But because I knew I was worth it, that my value didn't change, my comments came out different. I wasn't sitting next to the toilet in the bathroom anymore being a victim. I became a victor. And I responded back to my friend, hey buddy, I don't know where you are, I don't know where you're from, but I can't wait to meet you again, because when we meet, you and I are going to be friends. And you and I are going to embrace and we're going to hug, because when I see you, I will have known that you have been a hero, a friend, a brother, an influence for greatness to many others. And I press send. Guys, that was in 2011. In 2016, I got a message from that same individual. In 2016, 5 years later, he hits me up on Facebook and he says this, Ben, you don't know me, and I hope you don't remember me, because this is what I said. And guys, I didn't remember him. And this is how you responded. And then it clicked. He's like, Ben, I want you to know that when we see each other, we will embrace. And we will be friends. Because I have been a force for good. I have been an enlightenment. I have been an influence. And I have been a force for good. I want you to know that because how you reacted, because you said yes to opportunities, because you didn't say yes to the negative things in life, that it changed my life and everybody else that I've been able to influence. Thank you. When I see you, we will embrace. Hope to see you soon. Guys, I can only leave you with one thing, and this is the best thing. I could give everybody you guys $20 bills, but it wouldn't measure up to what I'm about to leave with you today. I can leave with you one thing that could allow you the same influence that's allowed me to not sit in the toilet room anymore, but to be on a front stage doing everything I can to impact you. And it's a message that I tell myself when I'm going through a tough time. It's a message, it's an incantation, it's a positive self-talk that I tell myself when I want to say no to good opportunity. When I want to say yes to something bad. It's something that I want to share with you. Is this okay if I share it with you? Is that okay? Guys, I want you to repeat after me what I'm about to say. And I want you to think about the words, because everything that I say has been inspirational to me. And it's allowed me to change my life. Guys, let me hear you. Now I am the voice. Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I am a force for good. I am a leader. Defy the odds. Set a new standard. Step up. Step up. Step up. Guys, that's not bad. That's not bad. But let's hear you guys while you get on your feet. Everybody get on your feet. Get your lights in the air from your phones. Let's let you guys make an influence today. Salt Lake City. We are here on awareness of greatness. I'm here to have you guys open up your shirt and see the Superman. I'm here to have you step out of that phone booth and have you know that you're enough. So let's hear it. Now I am the voice. Now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I am a force for good. I am a leader. Defy the odds. Set a new standard. Step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Salt Lake City, you get an opportunity to step up, to be a victor, and to say yes to being great. Thank you, Salt Lake City.
Oh, Ben Care, how about it? Huh? Champion, inspiration. Unbelievable, man. What a ball of energy. Am I right? That guy is awesome. Love that guy. Love that guy. Again, at Ben Care on Instagram and Ben Care on Facebook. Follow him. We're wrapping things up. We can't thank you enough for your attention today, for being focused on the message of how to beat this disease of opioid addiction. You know, I personally, as I drive down here, and I do this on a regular basis as I come down to this arena to broadcast the Jazz games, I drive past Pioneer Park, and in 2002, I was in that park buying heroin. And because of the grace of God and recovery and moments like this, I drove in here and went to work today. That's my instead, to carry the message of recovery. And we hope that you will find your instead, that you will pursue your instead. Special thanks once again to Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee, for putting on this event and focusing it this year on the opioid crisis. And a round of applause for everybody here. All of you, give yourselves a round of applause. You guys were fantastic. We want to finish on a high note. We've been teasing it all through the program, and now it's time. Put your hands together for the amazing, the talented Lexi Walker.
Can you guys give a round of applause for Steven on the piano and Nate on the cajon? Let's do this. I love you too. I think we're just waiting for piano to get going. So, I love you too. I want you guys to sing along with me if you recognize this song. I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me, look out, 'cause here I come. And I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Well, fire away, 'cause today I won't let the shame sink in. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. We are warriors, oh, that's what we become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I can't hear you. There's a place for us, for we're glorious. When the sharpest words want to cut me down, let's hear it. Look out, 'cause here I come. Oh, and sharpest words wanna cut me down. I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. This is
KSL News starts now.
Right now, teens from across the state and local leaders are taking on the opioid epidemic.
It's all happening at the Vivint Smart Home Arena.